CM Punk is the brand new undisputed WWE champion after returning and defeating Sami Zayn on Raw. Raw is over and it was a heater. Let's talk about it. Guys, listen. I expected CM Punk to return. I think everybody did. And the reason that this happened was because Cody Rhodes got his head slammed in the door by Gunther earlier in the night in the car door, so he wasn't medically able to compete. I was really worried they were going to continue Cody versus Gunther, but thank God that they didn't. I figured he would confront Cody. Maybe Cody would win. Maybe he would cost Cody. Maybe he would cost Sami. Maybe something like that would happen. I can firmly say that I did not expect him to return and win the undisputed WWE Championship. The pop for his return was insane. The crowd was awesome all night. Punk was performing like $1,000,000. This was insane. There were so many false finishes in this match. There were at least one, but possibly two occasions where I 1,000,000% thought the match was over. There was a moment where Sami hit a second GTS and a Blue Thunder Bomb right after another, straight into the pin, and CM Punk kicked out. This match was amazing. And he came back, I think, a bit more jacked and with a hairier chest. So, continuing the trend of coming back jacked. It wasn't as dramatic as AJ Styles or something, but I mean, this was amazing. Sami started playing a really good heel. He was slapping CM Punk, trash talking him, being dirty. I mean, the slaps were wicked, man. And then CM Punk hit a Helluva kick on Sami Zayn, which was really impressive. Right into a GTS, and Punk is your new undisputed champion. This was just, oh my God. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Are we getting Punk versus Sami at SummerSlam? Are we getting Cody versus Punk? I think that's the most likely. Oh my God. I mean, oh my God, this is insane. This is just insane. But I feel very bad for Sami Zayn. I mean, the dude had a phenomenal reign for the 8 days that he was given. I have absolutely no idea what Sami Zayn's going to do if he's not challenging Punk. I feel so bad for Sami. I mean, he was super entertaining as champion. I really hope he gets another run. I think he will. At next year in Saudi Arabia, he'll probably win the title again. But I mean, this was just genuinely insane. I mean, I do appreciate, though, this is different than what we were expecting. Like, here's what I mean. They could have, obviously they're going for Cody versus Punk, but they could have gone the way that everyone expected. They could have had Punk cost Cody. They could have had Punk confront Cody after the match. Like, those would have been awesome, but this was way better, because now not only do we get to see CM Punk with a title he's never had before, he's going to be on SmackDown, and Cody is better when he's chasing the title, not holding it. So this is a win-win for us, Punk and Cody. It's just a huge loss for Sami Zayn. This is crazy, man. I can't wait to see the build to this match. The show kicked off with Seth freaking Rollins. This was a great promo from Seth Rollins. He said Roman's, just trying to prove that he's not a fraud, and that's all he's been doing for like the past 15 years. LA Knight, yeah, interrupts him, and he had an even better promo. He was furious. It felt like he just took out all the frustration that's been building the past few years, and he went off. He was saying how Roman and Seth are just doing this for nostalgia purposes. He said Seth did nothing to earn it. He lost in the first round of the King of the Ring. He mocked them, just saying, "Oh, hey, brother, you want a title shot, brother? For old time's sakes, brother? All right, brother." And stuff like that. It was pretty funny, but also a fantastic promo. He was talking about how the Bloodline is just trying to shove him under the rug and sweep him to the side again while they do something else, but he's not going to let it happen. But what was interesting was Seth, at the end of this, said when he wins at SummerSlam, LA Knight can be first in line for a title shot, essentially. Which is very interesting, and it makes me think that he might actually win at SummerSlam. Don't get me wrong, I still think it's much more likely that Roman wins, but I think there is a chance LA Knight wins, and everybody loved this LA Knight promo. Just like the hot take says, they were hyped up. This was amazing. A really good opening segment. It was like 20-25 minutes, and I loved it. Then we had a match for the Tag Team Championships between the Street Profits and the Vision, and I thought it was a foregone conclusion that the Street Profits were retaining here. However, before the match, they were the Vision was getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond backstage, and then Paul Heyman showed up. Paul Heyman said, basically, come back with something that will satisfy me, AO, or else don't come back at all. And I was like, oh my god, are they finally going to end the Vision? Nope, they didn't. Maxine Dupree ended up finally siding with the Vision, which I firmly did not expect. I thought they were never going to pay that off, but they actually did. Credit to them. It took way too long, but they at least did it. It was a really good match. The Vision ended up winning the titles back, which I definitely did not expect, and it's also a very bad decision because the Street Profits could have done really good things with them. I still think they'll give them back to them, but I wish that the Street Profits just kept the titles, and also Braun Breaker is now still stuck in the tag team division, and Braun Breaker just needs to leave. This faction is holding him down at this point. However, this still wasn't enough for Paul Heyman, and he said at least someone accomplished something tonight, but he was referring to Maxine Dupree, so maybe, just maybe, he will still leave them soon. Then we had a match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Soruka, the champion, and Raquel Rodriguez. This was a surprisingly good match. They had great chemistry. Just amazing, like every other Soruka match ever. Raquel looked like an absolute monster. Of course, the Judgment Day tried to get involved. Io Sky ended up making the save, and because Raquel was distracted, Soruka hit the Soul Snatcher out of nowhere and picked up the win. Obviously, the right decision, and I'm still hoping for that ladder match that I predicted for SummerSlam. They also announced Roxanne Perez versus Io Sky next week, which that match is going to be absolutely amazing. And I still really hope that they add Stephanie Vaquer to the match between Io and Liv. We had a tag team match between Ethan Page and Rusev teaming up against Dragon Lee and Gable. After the match, he put Dragon Lee in the Accolade, and then put Chad Gable in the Accolade, and then put Joe Hendry in the Accolade. And I'm glad that Joe Hendry came out to make the save, because hopefully this means that he is now feuding with Rusev and Ethan Page. And I believe... Okay, well, hold on. Let me backtrack a little bit here. We got an announcement. Next week, there's a gauntlet match for the Intercontinental title. Or for number one contendership for the title. My voice cracked. Oh my god. I believe it has Dragon Lee, Ethan Page, Rusev, Javon Evans, Chad Gable, Joe Hendry, I think. And I think that's it. Oh no, it had Dom too. So, I think Joe Hendry's in that, so I'm glad. It seems like he's going after the IC title now. I really hope Chad Gable wins that, though. We had a promo with Paul Heyman just hyping up the Oba versus Brock match, and then he was interrupted by Brock right as he was about to get out of the ring, and Paul Heyman said Oba got punted in the little Femmies, which was really funny. So the first part was basically just him hyping up the match, and then he cut a really good promo on Oba, saying that Oba proved Brock is beatable, but Brock did the same thing at Clash in Italy, and that at SummerSlam he is not stepping into Hell in a Cell, he's stepping into the Broctagon. Just phenomenal promo from Paul Heyman. But Obafemi's was just as good. He said a lot of great stuff, talking about how he's going to beat him in front of his wife, his family, his children. And I'm really hoping that he starts going after his family or something. Make this even more personal. Make it just to the point where they want to murder each other. I want blood everywhere. I want this to get personal. I think that would be really entertaining. And he ended it with a great line. Tell your client I'll see him in hell. Just phenomenal promo from Obafemi. I can't wait for this match. I only get more and more hyped every week. We are literally 3 weeks away from this match. The hot take for this one is I don't have a problem with the match, just the booking. But it is what it is. At this point, I'm looking forward to Obafemi and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, but I do wonder if Brock is indeed done at SummerSlam. I actually ran a poll about this on my YouTube. I believe it has 10 votes, and 8 of them are yes, Brock will retire, and 2 of them are no, Brock won't retire. I think it's, even though they haven't announced it, I still am fairly certain that he will. I don't see what else he could do. He's kind of done everything there is, and it would put over Oba so much, and we already know he's got retirement on his mind because of WrestleMania.